I'm Adrian from the Westmont Public Library. When I started to think about a personal story I could share, I thought, why not share a recipe? So then I started to think back about the foods that meant the most to me when I was growing up, and I laughed because most of the foods were full of sugar and highly processed. Let's see, breakfast would be sweetened cereal with extra sugar added on top, and then to drink, Tang or PDQ. Now, for those of you who did not grow up in America in the 70s, Tang and PDQ were powdered drink mixes that are loaded with sugar. A good lunch might be Cheese Whiz and crackers. Dinner, how about a frozen TV dinner popped in the microwave? Now, I have to make it clear, processed convenience foods were not all that I ate. I did have some healthy homemade food sometimes too. But when I was growing up, my mom was in school full-time, and then when she finished school, she was working full-time. She had always wanted to go to college, but she didn't get a chance when she was younger. So when I, the youngest of her 9 children, went off to school, she went off to school too. She wanted to work in, of all places, a library. So when she finished her degree, she got a job working at a school library. Therefore, since she was either going to school full-time or working full-time, she didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare meals for me. So even though I did have a lot of very simple foods and meals growing up, there was one thing that my mother always made for holidays or family gatherings, and that's deviled eggs. Now I know there are many ways to make deviled eggs, but since this is a personal family story, I want to tell you exactly how my mother made them. First, you'll need some hard-boiled eggs. Now, the way she always hard-boiled eggs was that she would put the eggs into a pot of cold water, put them on the stove, turn on the heat, and after the water would come to a boil, she would wait 7 minutes. Then you remove it from the fire and you'd cool the eggs down. So once the eggs are cool, you have to peel them. Now, peeling can take a while, especially if the eggs are really fresh. Okay, so my eggs are peeled and rinsed off to get off any little bits of shell that might be remaining. Now, as I was peeling one of them, it broke. So what my mother would always do is if there was some egg white that broke off, she'd just toss it in with the egg yolks. I don't think I'll put this much in though, that's quite a bit. I'll save that for later. And then with your washed eggs, slice them in half lengthwise, drop the yolks in a bowl. I have to tell you, this was actually the bowl that she used to use. I remember her making deviled eggs using this, and I also remember her making buttercream frosting using this bowl. Delicious. That's right, lots of sugar. Now, the only other ingredients that she would put in her deviled eggs are a little bit of salt and pepper and some Miracle Whip. There are no exact amounts, so I'm just going to put in a tiny bit of salt and a tiny bit of pepper, since I'm not going to be making too many of the deviled eggs, and then some Miracle Whip. And again, there's no exact amount, so I'm going to try a couple of teaspoons and then just take my fork and mash it all together and see how it looks. If it looks a little too dry, I'll just add a little bit more Miracle Whip. I think it's just the right consistency now. So now I'll take a teaspoon and put some of the yolk mixture into each part of the egg white. There's one. Two. Three. And there's enough for one more. And 4. There you go. Just how Mom used to make. Bye for now.